Hey everybody, it's Dinosa. I'm taking a quick break here between my oh joy 2,000 word paper to get this video in before too long. Just want to let you all know that I saw a movie today, which I think is really awesome. It's August Osage County, which is the new Meryl Streep Julia Roberts movie. Now, normally, I'm not into these drama movies too much, but I was asked to go see it because it was based on a play. And I got to say, this movie is probably the best translation of a play to a movie. Meryl Streep's performance was absolutely dead on. Now, I can say that because I had a grandmother who passed away a long time ago, but she was very similar to Meryl Streep's character, and I could totally relate to what Meryl Streep was doing as her character, and had the problems that it caused with all the children. In this case, it would be three daughters. Um, no, actually, I'm sorry, two daughters. No, yeah, two daughters, and no, three daughters. I'm sorry, three daughters. And what Julia Roberts is basically, it's a story that all circles around where their father dies under unusual circumstances, and they're not sure if he committed suicide or it was an accident, but the movie is about the family getting together about the funeral. Um, and the Julia Roberts character could represent really anyone that was a daughter on the receiving end of this mother. And so I saw it firsthand with my dad and his sister. And I knew exactly what she would say, how she would say it. Meryl Streep's performance was incredible. It really is Oscar worthy on that. It was so good. The movie was absolutely hilarious on the. It wasn't like comedy funny than everything like Anchorman. Like, I didn't really like Anchorman, but everybody says everything is so funny. It wasn't like that. It was more real world funny on that. It's like that's kind of funny. But there, in this movie, there are so many what the heck, what, huh? Just twists and turns, and then they kind of fill in the backstory. And literally, the whole movie, you're watching the whole family somewhat disintegrate on that. And it's a good end. It's a great end. The thing is that I don't want to ruin any of the what the F moments. I will give one because I was privy to this because when my grandma says something like this before, where Meryl Streep's character said during the funeral dinner, she said, well, I just want to let you all know, and she's smoking here, saying that your daddy and I had a will, but we sort of changed it and amended things, but we didn't do it legally, so all the money is mine. And every daughter in the room was like, whoa. Like, that was... Can you say, and this was the wife of the guy that died, and they just did the funeral that day, and they just buried him that day, and she's doing this. And it's just, it was like, unless you had a situation like that where you grew up with something like that, you would never understand the tension there. It's just like one, like, how dare you say that? And two, where did that come from? Oh, and to me, I was like reliving what I kind of went through with my youth, and watching my father and his sister kind of duke it out with my grandmother over this kind of stuff. And it got brutal on that. It's just like this lady, she was my grandmother, but she like existed to make people's lives miserable. And that's kind of what this whole thing is really about, where it's about her. But see, before you go too in deep in that, the character, Meryl Streep's character, has cancer of the mouth. Her mouth burns constantly like fire. And she smokes continually all the time. She's on massive amount of medication on that. And it's just, she's a wreck. She's just a mental wreck. Um, but you see, later on, explains kind of the background on that, on how that came about. And then also, you see, with my life, how it was my father, there were a lot of things I didn't understand about him, and then his background was finally, after he passed on, was finally explained to me what happened. And I can understand why he became the man that he became at that point. So to me, I could completely relate to this movie on many levels. But some of it was like hilariously funny. Like people would be like, just cussing. Like this family would cuss at each other. They're just like, shut up this, shut that. Some of it was, like I said. I mean, one of the girls was like a real estate agent. She was dating some dude driving a Ferrari, and he goes up, and he shows up. Oh, and his cell phone is the Sanford and Son theme song. It's just like, yeah. Oh, but he's driving a Ferrari. And let's see, what other thing here, which is amazing to that film, is the selection of country music. And now, I'm not really a big country music fan, but I gotta tell you, they played some old school stuff, and I remember this stuff like back when I was a kid, stuck in the car with my father, listening to KSAN, Bay Area country, before it became 94.9, Wild 94.9. I think it was 94.9 KSAN, Bay Area. That was a long time ago. And it's just amazing on that, here with these songs. Like I clicked, it's like I totally remember all these songs that they were playing throughout the whole film. It's, to me, it was just an incredible film. It was way better than I expected. I'm just going, really, another play film? I was just like, this isn't going to be good, because I saw Rock of Ages and it was okay. I mean, really, Tom Cruise and the Monkees saved the whole thing. There were some good moments to it. This film, you understood the characters, you got a plot line, you almost could relate, like these characters were kind of your family, because there were people in the family that were very similar to your family, or members of your family, and then just all hell breaks loose. And then, and what it is a whole telling of like Julia Roberts kind of coming to a decision on that, where it is, where I don't want to give away too much, because it's just, there's so many good scenes, and there's so much decision, and there's just so much, like I saw in the theaters, and it's just so much silence, and there was just some stuff where just like, what? It was just shocking, like what we were hearing, and then we knew something had to be done, and then the results were just absolutely disastrous. You couldn't have avoided it. I think it's definitely worth a watch. I don't know about theater. It was good in the theater, yes, but it's perfectly good DVD rental. Definitely worth a watch. The only problem I have with the film is that many people may not relate to them because they didn't have relatives like them. They think it's funny, and they think some of the moments are just crazy, but I don't think people fully grasp the dangers, or when people get to a certain age, get that old, and they have cancer, and they just on drugs, and they don't care anymore. At times there's no reasoning with them. It's just, it's crazy. And then it's just to think we're all eventually going to get that old. We're all going to eventually have to deal with it. Only thing we do is the best we can with the time we've got. And this film, it was such a bitter end, but at the same time, you could see the cycle broken. Um, well, it was implied. I'll put it that way. I'll give you a hint. When you watch the movie, look for the sign. Look for the sign on the right corner of the road, on the right side. Look for the sign, and that should explain how it ended on that with Julia Roberts' character. Look for the sign. But anyway, this is Dinosaur. This is shorter than normal because I really like this film, and I don't want to give any away the what the hell moments. Just because it's that good. Because you will lose the whole impact of the film if you know anything about it. Just go ahead and watch it, check it out, see what you think, and then just let us enjoy. And if you don't like it, oh well, but you tried. But anyway, I think Meryl Streep deserves an Oscar for this because it was dead on to what I witnessed and I had to deal with. But this is Dinosaur signing out.